to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas. This is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
What's up, everyone? Gonna set a couple of the mic levels here. Today, Alan is not available. It is just me and David. Is going to be another nerd edition of the Realty Ruckus. These are the best editions, actually, because we actually talk about things that we don't normally talk about. We'll hit a lot of things that have numbers to deal with. And when Ashley gets in here for legal, we'll discuss some deep legal topics with him. But for now, we want to talk about the 100th episode celebration. So, how was it?
Man, honestly, I was a little scared going into the celebration. Because we had so many troubles at first with a Facebook event. Facebook kept kicking off
That's
our
right.
events.
I forgot about that. Yeah, for some reason, Facebook just had it out for us.
Yeah,
they did not want us to have that event. So we put up the event 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And every single time we'd put it up, Facebook would take it right back down and say it was under a violation, that we were violating something. And the first time it said that we were violating something because we were going to be selling alcohol to minors.
Yeah,
so
that's what we determined it to be.
So we fixed that. We changed the age restriction setting. So, okay, 21 and up only. And then they came back and they erased it again. And there's just no reasoning behind it. And it's pretty frustrating because you can't contact Facebook.
No,
There's not
can't.
like a number you can call. There's no way to say, hey, I want to talk with somebody at Facebook about this.
Oh, yeah, and I submitted feedback forms. I mean, who knows when those are going to get returned or, I haven't seen any feedback so far. But so that scared me as the marketing guy that we were actually going to have enough people out there. And then it turns out the show went great.
It was pretty
Yeah, we had like
freaking awesome.
50 plus people there.
Yeah.
Everyone was having a really great time. And I really thought my next worry was, are we going to be able to talk for 90 minutes?
It was a long episode. We haven't done a 90-minute episode in a really long time. I want to say the last one was when we were at St. Arnold's way back in the day. And it was nice, though, because we had guests coming up. We had a lot of interaction. Yeah. If you were there, you got to ask questions. I know some people got a bunch of free drink tickets and all sorts of other stuff. So it was a pretty awesome time. And then afterwards, if you stuck around after the show,
a real treat.
That's when things got really interesting.
Yeah, first we had Alan go, because it was a karaoke night. It was Lincoln Bar's first.
It was their very first karaoke night ever.
By the way, guys, I do want to give a huge shout out to Lincoln Bar and their owner, Ro. They treated us so well. They accommodated our show, and we had such a great time. We definitely highly recommend Lincoln Bar for any events or just a great place to hang out. And that night, they actually started their first karaoke night event, and we were there for the first one and provided some of that entertainment.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because Alan was the very first person to go up and sing, and he went up there and he crushed it. I think he sang his Creep song, which is becoming a staple in Alan's household when it comes to karaoke. And he went up there and sang that, and after that, it was just like nonstop. Real estate investors after real estate investors went up there and sang. We did a couple of songs, me and Alan together. We did a couple of rap songs. It was fun. And then
Curtis
Alan
was busting moves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just Curtis, He had to get down and crazy. But Alan actually went out there and won the karaoke contest.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so at the end of it all, they picked the top 3. And Alan, and they were like, hey, you're going to get a $50 bar tab to whoever wins. And they all went up there. And,
I left way
early. You missed the best part, man. So Alan goes up there.
I wanted to go watch House of Cards.
I forgot what he sings. He sings a song by Mark Anthony, I think. And he's up there, and people were dancing to his song. It was really cool, actually. And then they came out and they announced, and they were like, hey, you know who won this? Alan won this contest. And we were like, oh, man, really? And Alan turns around, literally, not even joking, and goes, I need $50 worth of shots.
That's the way to do it.
He goes to the bar, and I just see them like serving up like all these shots. And I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, well, he said that he wanted $50 worth of shots. So this is what $50 worth of shots looks like.
Nice.
I was like, oh, man, yeah, it was fun, man. I had such a good time.
Hey, I didn't even know. Congratulations to Alan. I'm sure he's watching from the road. He's actually on his way to an independent broker.
He is watching right now, actually. Yeah, he is watching. And he was the winner of the karaoke contest. I got to give him mad props. And I was actually surprised because it came down to 2 separate white picket agents who were there for the finals. It was
Really?
Caesar was one of them.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar can sing?
No, that shows you how bad everybody else was. When Caesar makes it to the final, you have to start questioning what's going on.
So Alan was a shoo-in for the $50
He wasn't. He was going against a girl there. Her name's Yesenia.
Oh, yeah.
She listens to the show, and she actually
has
had
a
a
lot
lot of
of
good
good
questions.
questions, yeah.
And she was up there, and she was in the top 3. So it came down to Alan, Yesenia, and Caesar. And they each went up there. It's funny because I forgot what Caesar's saying, but he basically eliminated himself from the contest. It was really bad. And then Yesenia went up there, and she sang a Spanish song also, just like Alan did.
Okay.
And between the two of them, it really came down to them two.
Yeah.
And Alan took it, and I'm glad because he bought everybody shots.
You know what? We kind of brought the crowd, so it should have gone our way there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So,
but we had a great time doing a 100th episode. I can only imagine. Are we gonna do what, 200th or 250?
I'm thinking maybe 125. Why not, man? Why not make it sooner rather than later? We had a great time. It was a really fun event. Guys, we have an awesome show planned out for you today. Even though Alan is not here, it is still a phenomenal show. Right. It is going to be fantastic. So you're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, the weather out there has been pretty miserable lately. David, what are we looking at for this weekend?
Yeah, we'll see. Ashley Pan is not here in studio today, so obviously it's looking like we're going to get a lot of heavy rain through the weekend. We have isolated thunderstorms today through the weekend. You're looking at actually highs near the 90s and lows in the mid 70s, and we're expecting rain all weekend long, so it's going to be hot and muggy. Not a pleasant weekend. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, there you go. There you have it. We are going to have some really awful weather, and we can blame it all on David. And you can blame it on Ashley for not being here today. He actually had to be downtown, so he won't be here for the show today. But we will still have a good little legal segment.
Yeah,
We'll figure out something to talk to you guys about. Yeah, I mean, it'll be bad legal advice, and it won't be legal advice. It'll just be me talking about a legal situation. Let's be clear on that. I cannot give legal advice because I'm not an attorney. But right now, what we want to talk about is something that I found actually really surprising. And it's an article that has to deal with what home buyers are actually looking for, what matters to them in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so I thought, Well, obviously, one of the things that's going to matter to them is like amenities. What amenities does a neighborhood have?
Well, for me, like I usually think the top thing, usually for buyers, is either the school district, or if they don't have children, then it's going to be the neighborhood amenities to me.
Yeah. So, and it's surprising because the number one most important thing that people are looking for is actually friendly neighbors.
Yeah, and this is according to a Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. It's their latest homeowner sentiment survey. And so they found that the surprising top choice for a neighborhood feature is actually friendly neighbors. About 50% of prospective homebuyers ranked friendly neighbors as the number one feature they're looking in a neighborhood when considering buying a home there.
You know, it's funny because I'm looking everywhere here and I can't figure out how do they even classify whether the neighbors are friendly or not. Like how do they determine that about a neighborhood? But what really surprises me is that this included financial things in that list. So it actually had financial concerns was a thing on the list. One of them was that the home had an accurate market value and that the value of the investment of the home was high.
Exactly. And that was like third or fourth, though, down the list.
That's crazy, though. It's like, okay, well, we'd rather live around nice people, even if we have to overpay. That's still way more important.
And thinking of it now that way, it makes sense. Because for me, yes, okay, you get a great value on a home. But if you don't enjoy living there, then what was the point of finding the discounts, so to say, in the home? I'm kind of in line with these home buyers through this survey that I would rather pay a little bit more and know that I'm actually going to enjoy living in that neighborhood. Because the thing is, you're probably going to live there at least 5 years.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's normally how long someone lives in a house, somewhere between 3 to 5 years. 5 years is the average home length that somebody would stay in a property. But it was really surprising to me that is the number one neighborhood choice. Now, one of the ones that I did expect, and this doesn't surprise me, but I would have thought this was number one because I hear this all the time and time again. Mm-hmm. School districts, school districts. And surprisingly, only 41% of the people surveyed cited that as something that's very important to them.
Exactly, and that one actually came down third on the list. Right above it was actually walkability of the neighborhood.
And what does that mean, walkability? Like that you can actually walk to places, or that the neighborhood is got sidewalks?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the sidewalks in the neighborhood, easy access to maybe some retail that's within, a reasonable distance. And as well, I'm sure that has to do with the amenities in the areas, something like parks and trails, and just, the ability to walk around in nature or trails around the neighborhood. Yeah,
and when you get into it, so they actually broke it out for millennials, right? Because everything nowadays has to deal with millennials and what are millennials thinking and what are millennials going to do when it comes to buying houses. And one of the things that they said is that 68% of millennials feel like they need to get out there and buy something now.
Yes.
They are freaking out about interest rates rising. And this is something that we've talked about in the show quite a bit, actually.
Yes,
interest rates are rising. They are about to go up another 0.25% of a point. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at that, you've got to start wondering at what point are interest rates going to get so high that affordability starts to fall off. And here in Texas, affordability is not that big of an issue because houses, you can get a lot of bang for your buck here.
Yeah, it's relatively affordable here.
But we're talking about other places where you're buying a $700,000, $800,000 starter home. That's your starter home in other places. And then when you're paying mortgage rates on that are 6.5%, 7%, it starts to get unaffordable to buy a home. Now, this is what makes no sense, and this is why people will always say that millennials don't know what they're doing. Because it says on here, millennials have an urgency to buy before the rates go up. Yeah. But out of those same, 70% of those said, "Oh, but we're willing to wait to find what we're looking for, to find the exact perfect home." And it's just like, that's not a sense of urgency. It's like, we're urgently looking, but if we don't find anything, that's okay.
Yeah, and what's interesting on the flip side is that even though millennials feel that urgency to act now because of the prospect of future rising rates, a lot of people actually hold a favorable view for the real estate market. 68% of prospective homeowners actually view the real estate market favorably. So, that bodes well for real estate agents. It's just going to be hard to actually get millennials into those homes when they're feeling that pressure from the rising mortgage rates and then the lack of supply that we're seeing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is we are in a hot market right now, and there isn't a lot of supply out there. And so we're getting back into that market, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the episode during the tip of the day. But we're getting back into a seller's market where the seller can really list a property. It depends at what price range you're talking about too. But the sellers really have a lot of control now on what they do. So, unfortunately, right now, we do have to get to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to be telling you what you need to be doing if you want to be a mega producing agent. So, if that's something that you think that you want to be, you're going to want to listen to this next segment.
All right, we'll catch you after the break. Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, before we went to break, I promised that when you came back, we were going to tell you what it takes to be a mega producer. And I want to jump right into this because it's a really good and really powerful article. And I want to make sure that we get through the entire thing. So these are the 7 characteristics that it takes to become a mega producer. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the characteristics of a mega producer, and then we're going to tell you how more than likely you're being ordinary in your business and what you can do to stop being ordinary and stop being
things that hold an agent back.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that hold agents back, and sometimes they don't even realize that the things they're doing are actually holding them back. So it's not always beneficial to their business. Sometimes it's actually detrimental to their business. So I want to jump right into it. So number 1, about mega producers. And so what they did is that they actually surveyed a bunch of mega producers, and they looked at their personality styles. And what they determined is that only 5% of the population actually has these skills.
Yeah.
So 5% of the population has the skills to be a what they call a $1 billion agent, someone who's closing $1 billion transactions a year. So number 1, they possess the behavioral style and values of a winner. Now, what does that really mean? You know,
exactly,
you got to think about it. Oh, what does that mean, a winner? Well, number 1 is that they have a really, really high drive, and that they have a very high dominance. Now, what that means, these are the people that you look at and you're like, man, they are bulldozing through everything, and they just don't give a you know what.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
They don't care about what other people think about them.
Rejection's not an issue for them. They're the type of person that's going to keep driving forward, and basically, you know, it's the person that has the persistence.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's a really good way to describe it. It's that person who's got that high level of persistence, that they get knocked down and they get right back up. And I'm not trying to sound like an old Chumbawamba song, but you do. You sometimes, in any business, you're going to have ups and downs, and you have to be able to say, I forgot about that one already. I'm moving on to the next one.
That's
Not a
right.
big deal. So that's number one. They have that high drive. They have that dominance. They don't care about rejection. They do what it takes to succeed. So number two, inside of that same thing of being a winner, is that they need to have high people skills and the ability to influence those around them, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously, when you're talking with a high contact business, and especially in sales, you need to be a people's person. And typically, what from this Inman article, what they find is that people that have a combination of these two specific characteristics typically are more likely to be a type of mega producer because they don't give up, they don't quit, and they also are really good with people. I mean, those two characteristics, you're set to really dominate the competition.
Yeah, and I feel like the people who have the high people skills, one, are going to do good because they're going to be able to interact better with clients. They're going to understand their clients better, but it's not only about the clients. We talk about this a lot on the show. You have to work to build your team. Whether that's an in-house team or it's a team of contractors or a team of vendors that you use.
You can't do it on your own.
You can't. You can't be ultra successful in this business doing it all on your own. And maybe I've had people say, yes, you can. And maybe they're right. Maybe you can do it, but you will be miserable. You will not be enjoying it along the way. So if you want to be happy and you want to be doing it, you've got to find a way to utilize that team around you. And that's where those people skills really come in. It's not so much about you. It's the ability to listen to those around you and be outgoing and be sensitive to what they're feeling, to what those people are doing out there.
Some people refer to that as emotional intelligence. Or
there you go.
People's intelligence. There's people out there that are very book smart and kind of nerdy. That would be kind of like us. And there's people like Alan, the host, or like my wife. She's very good with people.
Yeah.
And me, not so much. She can handle the people stuff. I'll handle the technical stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's really when Alan and I got into this business, that was our roles. Is he's very much the people person. He's out there. He's in the public eye. He's good at talking to people. He's good at getting those people to rally around him and support him in everything that he does. And that jumps into this third one of being a winner, is that these types of people are highly utilitarian, okay?
Yeah.
Now, when I read this, I was like, what? Like, this sounds like some kind of dictator term. But basically what this means is that these people, they don't listen to all the fluff. They hear the fluff and they're able to cut through it really quickly and really listen to, okay, I get that problem. This is how I'm going to solve
and
it.
What's actually affecting my bottom line? Let's cut to the chase. Let's get down to the factors that are actually affecting the bottom line. And that's really what it means by utilitarian. People that are cutting out the fluff, cutting out the busy work of their lives, cutting out the distraction of the noise, and getting right to the point.
Yeah, and it's funny because it says that even though only 5% of the population has these skills, this drive, that almost every mega producer out there has the same skills. And so this is something that all the people rising to the top have at least those top three skills. Now, one of the things that the article talks about is that you can liken this to like an athlete, right? And an athlete has their natural abilities and things that they already have that's innate to them. However, I'm willing to argue that anyone can learn these skills.
Of course.
They may not be natural to you. Some people it comes easier than others, but these are skills that anybody can learn. This is not like basketball where if you're not 6 foot tall, you probably are not going to be very good at basketball.
Yeah.
This is not like that. I really do believe these are skills that you can obtain by getting out there, practicing, talking to people, and working through them.
Yeah, and
so,
it's really dependent on what your goals are and how you're developing personally. I mean, for instance, a lot of these traits that we're going to be talking about here for these characteristics, I see they're drawn from the DISC profile.
Yeah.
And I know Alan, he recently redid his DISC profile, and we saw that his dominance factor came down a little bit, but his influence factor, his people skills went up.
Yeah,
So
it really did.
And that has been, to me, the results of the personal development that he's undertaking, as well as the rest of the company. We're big on the personal development.
When you can really see it in the ability, in the way that he's using his teams now. So he used to be very much sole practitioner, boom, 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 do all the work yourself. And then he started developing his team around him. And he got his VA, and he got an assistant, and now he's got his wife working with him, and he's getting a buyer's agent and a listing agent and all these other people. And so his dominance factor has gone down a little bit, I think. But like you said, his interpersonal skills with other people have increased drastically, and it's made up for that. So it jumps into number two. People that are mega producers know what they like to do.
Yeah.
They know what they're
And
passionate
they're passionate
about.
about it, yeah.
Yeah. And they don't like to do other stuff. I mean, go up to Alan and say, what is it that you like to do? And what is it that you don't like to do? And he'll immediately tell you, I hate paperwork. Like, he absolutely hates paperwork. It's something that in his business, if he could never do another piece of paperwork again, he probably wouldn't. And he's pretty much gotten there now because he's found people that he can delegate those tasks to. And that's something that if you really want to be a mega producer who is not tearing their hair out at every moment, you have to have those people on your team.
Yeah, on top of, leveraging your time.
Yeah, absolutely, because you only have so much time in the day. And if you're the person that's basically working till 3 a.m. and waking back up at 6, you got to start finding ways to delegate that out.
Yeah,
That's fantastic that you've got that amount of drive. That's fantastic that you have that ability to work that much.
But use it effectively.
Use it effectively, and don't burn yourself out, because we all eventually can burn out if we're being overworked.
Yeah, and we've talked about delegation and assistance several times before on the show. We've had panels discussing it in workshops. And the thing that, this article mentions and that we are able to back up as well with our own experiences is that most people, most mega producers, they say, I experienced an uptick in my business. I think one person at the top producer panel that NARA recently hosted, they said they saw a 30% increase in their business the next year.
Wow.
And then they also always say, I wish I would have hired earlier.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Almost every single time you go to a top producer panel, the very first thing everybody says is, gosh, I wish I would have gotten an assistant sooner. I wish I would have found somebody to help me sooner. But prior to people hiring, the thing you always hear is, I don't know if I'm ready for an assistant. I don't know if I can afford an assistant. I don't know if I'm willing to make that commitment. And it doesn't mean you have to make a massive financial commitment.
No.
You can go out, you can find VAs who can work for what, $3 to $4 an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon's saying $3 an hour is what they pay their VA. So, and that's not a major financial commitment. What is that? Even if they're working 40 hours a week for you, you're talking about $120 a week. $120 a week that can transform your entire business. So there's no reason not to do it. Get out there. If you have business coming in, trust yourself that you will continue to get more business.
Yeah, and the mega producers already are saying out there that their 2020 hindsight is take the plunge earlier. So I know looking forward, it might seem scary to a lot of people out there, but take it from the mega producers that had already done it before you. Their hindsight's 2020, and they say take the plunge.
Yeah,
Might as well follow their
absolutely.
advice.
And one of the things I think that people fall into, and the reason that they don't get an assistant, is because they don't really have a plan. So they know, well, I want to make more money, but that's not a plan.
Yeah, it's not a
Or
plan.
I want to increase my business
I want to be a
this year.
successful agent.
Yeah, I want to be a mega producer. Well, that's not a plan. A plan has tangible, measurable goals that you're out to accomplish. And then it also has a structure for how you're going to get to those goals. So if you say, I want to be doing $1 billion in transactions by the end of the year, you got to be showing how you're going to build up to those billion transactions.
Yeah, and so number 3 is to have the written business plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, it's segued into it. I didn't even realize it. But yes, you have to write it down. And now what's really interesting is that people say, well, I thought about it. It's in my head. But it's not the same.
It's not.
97% of people with written goals will eventually achieve their goals.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at them day after day.
3% of those who do not write down their goals will achieve them.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you're writing these things down and that you know how you're going to reach those goals. It's not just about pie in the sky. It's real, tangible results that you can measure, and you can say, hey, I made a goal to close $50 million in transactions this year. This is how I plan to do that over the next 12 months. I'm going to build my business. I'm going to make this many leads. Go ahead.
And I think that's what you said is important. You said you stated your goal, but then you also added the caveat, this is how I'm going to do it. Because this tip is not set goals. It's have a business plan. So
That's
really
true.
It's a plan is a goal with action steps behind it. So, there's 2 very important parts. You can't miss out on the second part, or you're not going to have the guidelines to get you to that goal.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is that sometimes people feel like, well, I'm just getting started in real estate. This is not really a business for me yet.
Yeah.
I'm dabbling. Well, if you want to achieve success in anything, whether you're dabbling or not, you have to have a written plan. If you plan on being an Amazon seller, you don't just dabble in that. You have to have a plan for how I'm going to be an Amazon seller. How am I going to crush it at whatever it is that I'm doing? And that's why it's so important to have that plan.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our listener, Tang. I know he's on the road, actually on the way to Houston.
That's awesome.
He said he hired 2 VAs about a couple of months ago, and it's the best decision he has made yet for his real estate business. And we were actually hoping to have Tang on the show today. Unfortunately, he's stuck in traffic.
He said he's stopped 6 times already for potty breaks with his kid.
He's got his son with him, so I know that's got to be hard. But Tang, we can't wait to meet you. Thanks for always listening, and be safe out there on the road. Thanks for the comment.
Now, we do have to jump to a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we're going to finish off this list of things that mega producers are doing, how you can be a mega producer, and then we're also going to point out what are ordinary agents doing and why are they not mega producers and why you need to stop those activities immediately. We'll be right back after the break. You're on the Realty Ruckus.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, I was actually reading some of the comments in the in the Facebook section there. Man, they're pretty funny. People are giving advice to Tang on how his child should be peeing, like they carry portable car seats with them so they don't have to stop so often. And one guy said that he lets his kid pee in a bottle instead. So hey, Tang, take the advice, man. I don't know. I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know how that world is, but I know that my brother has to stop like every hour at least when he's on a road trip. And he's got his 2 kids, so maybe he should read those comments.
Yeah, I was thinking of taking DJ to Alabama this year. We decided we're not going to, but I might have to hold off a few more years now after hearing all that.
Yeah, I never considered that before, Tang, and now that you've pointed it out to me, I'm considering just having a hole drilled in my seat where it can just go straight out the bottom of the car, you know? So let's jump back into our list on things that mega producers are doing and why you need to be doing them. And I want to make sure that we make it through the rest of this list and jump into what ordinary agents are doing and how they can transform their business. So number 4 here, and this is something that you'll hear all the time, but I don't think people really understand what it means. And that's, don't work so much in your business, work on your business.
Yeah. And I like this one because this is actually from a book that we recommended a couple episodes ago.
We have, yes.
The E-Myth Revisited. And so what Michael Gerber says within that book is the reason business owners fail, is because they spend too much time actually working as an employee of the business instead of on the business and refining the systems and the way the company actually operates.
Yeah, so one of the things about that book, and I don't want to get too deep into it because it's a really good book, everyone out there should read it.
Yes.
But what the E-Myth stands for is the entrepreneurial myth.
Yeah.
That's what it stands for. And it means that everyone out there says, I'm an entrepreneur, but they're not really an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur goes above to the next level on the management side, and they create a business. What most people are is a practitioner, right? And you have to think about it kind of like a doctor. A doctor is great at being a doctor. A dentist is great at being a dentist, but they probably aren't very good at running an office, right?
Right.
And that's why normally doctors' offices and stuff, they have somebody else who they bring in that does the whole business side of it, and they're the practitioner. Yeah. And that's what this is saying, is that if you really want to take your business to the next level, you can't be stuck being the practitioner.
Exactly.
You have to, yes, obviously do some stuff that's in your business, but you want to make sure that you're working on your business, that you're refining the systems, that you're creating the follow-up plans, that you're doing the things to build your business from the outside so that your business can grow and not just you working more.
Yeah, because if you're working as an employee of your business, you're basically subjecting yourself to the rat race. And if you're running that race, you're not being able to actually grow an asset in the business, because eventually you want to step away from it and be able to either sell it off or live off the cash flow coming in, the revenue, the profits. So you really do have to work on it to build something that at some point you are able to sell if you so wish.
Yeah, because you can't sell yourself. You get, I'm going to come work for you. Then you're just an employee at that point. Yeah, and then you're literally the E-Myth. At that point, you are just a sole practitioner.
Might as well just go work to a 9 to 5. Don't even start a business.
And what's funny is that we're talking about working on your business. And number 5 on here is that you got to have systems. You have to create systems so that things can be repeatable time after time after time. And what's funny in here, because it says, mega producers may use a CRM. No way in the world do they maybe use a CRM. I can guarantee you that every mega producer in the entire United States has some type of CRM system. Yeah. And I guarantee you 99% of them is going to be a badass digital system that has a ton of automation already built into it.
You can't mega produce without leveraging the time you're putting into a database. And there's no way you're going to be able to do that off a freaking Excel sheet.
Yeah, no,
and I'm
absolutely.
sure these mega producers aren't inputting that data into their own CRM either.
Oh, no, man. I guarantee you that they have a VA who puts all that information in, that keeps track of everything. They've already built out the automation, and that's part of working on your business, is building out the automation so that you don't have to replicate those things time and time again. Yeah. One of the big things that we've been working on is refining the systems for listing agreements and for listing appointments and for buyers appointments on exactly how we want that to be structured.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, obviously, the Ruckus listeners out there, they get to see us work on the business that we're building here with White Picket and the Realty Ruckus and all the other brands we run.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for us, whenever we run into a problem, it's almost always because there's not a system in place, or the system has not been refined enough yet.
I agree with you.
That's almost always a problem.
And almost always the questions that make you scratch your head a little bit, those questions come from you failing to have a system in place for that.
Yeah.
And so, it's one of the most important things that you can do is to create those systems, make sure that the systems are working smoothly. And when you're doing that, you'll look from the outside and you'll go, wow, that company is a really well-oiled machine. They have a backup plan for everything. Everything just runs so smoothly there.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're working towards that mega producer level.
Exactly.
Now, this next one, I find it kind of funny the way that they worded it, because number 6 is they are voracious learners. Not just learners. No, they're voracious learners. They are out there constantly trying to refine themselves. And if you want to know why Alan isn't here right now, it's because he's out there being a voracious learner. He is flying to Phoenix here in a few hours to go to a leadership conference so that he can better train and develop himself in being a better leader. And guys, that never stops. I'm leaving for a conference this weekend to go get trained and developed in being a better leader. It's part of the job.
I feel like I need to say I'm doing something this weekend.
Yeah, David is going to a conference this weekend.
I'll be somewhere.
For eating crawfish and beer.
I'll definitely be at the patent law.
No, but one thing I will say is, in this office, nobody reads more than you do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And that's part of being a voracious learner too. It's not just going to a bunch of classes. It's making sure that you're constantly putting good stuff up here. It's like you got to think of yourself as an athlete. An athlete puts great things into their body to make sure that it functions on game day. They don't. I guarantee you that before Michael Jordan goes out and played, or went out and played, he didn't go drink like chug a pitcher of beer and eat a bunch of tacos. You know, he was putting good stuff into his body.
I think that's what Harden does, right?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, look at the results, right? Yeah, but you have to look at that and you have to go, what am I putting in up here? Whenever your job is based around using your brain, you have to think, what am I putting up here? If you're driving on your way to work every morning and all you're listening to is negative crap about what's going on, the climate agreement was broken and the U.S. is falling apart and all this other stuff. Oh my God, Trump tweeted that he wants some kafifi or whatever. And all that ridiculous stuff, guys, as entertaining as it might be, it's not feeding your business. It's not increasing your revenue. It's not increasing your income. It's doing nothing for you. Take that away. David started listening recently to a podcast. Yeah. He was so inspired because we all come in here and we're like, oh, we're listening to these books. And David was like, damn it, I got to stop listening to Rod Ryan every morning. And I got to start and I got to start listening to something. And you start listening to the Freakonomics podcast.
Yeah, I love the Freakonomics podcast.
Guys, I'm not telling you what to listen to. I'm just saying feed something to your brain that's going to be of value, that's going to help you grow.
Yeah, that aligns with your goals.
Exactly. And so number 7, and this is a really, really big one because I see some people, they start to get success. And as they're getting there, they become more and more private, more and more secretive. Like, I can't have people knowing the golden goose that I've got here.
You're gonna start asking me for my money too.
Yeah. They're like, oh man, everyone wants to steal my information now. Everyone wants to. No, when you start growing, one of the most important things that you can do for your business is give back to that same community. Exactly. Because the chances are you didn't get there by yourself. There was people along the way who helped you get to where you are. And you owe it back to the community to give to those out there that need help, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely believe it. And I think we were even recently having a conversation about, that it's hard to believe that there's people out there that give without expecting anything in return.
It is. And that altruism, I used to be the biggest hater of altruism. I mean, altruism doesn't exist. Nobody gives for any reason. You know what I realized? That's because I didn't give for any reason. And you have to get rid of that. You have to change that mindset. There's not always a direct financial gain by helping someone. Yeah. But you have no idea the impact of you helping that one person, what it could have on a community level.
I'm going to bring up an example of a gentleman I recently met, and he was at our 100th episode. And I was very grateful to have him up there. His name's Christopher Kelso.
Oh, yeah.
So he's with the Kelso Group. And what I really loved about him is he actually has a full-service bar at his office.
Yes, that was really cool.
He has, I guess, a small kitchenette or something, because he told me they cook breakfast there every weekend, and they invite people from the community out to enjoy breakfast with them and drink at their bar and have a good time with them. And that's not necessarily giving back in the standard sense of the word, but in a way he is providing a place for the community to come together and socialize. And I mean, this guy is freaking killing it when it comes to lending.
Oh, I love it. I love what Christopher Kelso is doing. And when he was telling me about his bar idea and the Saturday breakfast, I was just blown away by it, because some people would look at that and say, what a waste of money. Yeah. Wow, he's feeding all these people every Saturday morning. What a waste of money. And the reality is, no. He is building a community who is an advocate for him and rallies around him. Yeah. Not everyone who goes to his breakfast might do a mortgage with him. Probably only 50% of those people will. But guess what? When those people have a friend
Yep.
who's like, hey, I'm getting ready to buy a house. I need a mortgage lender. Do you know anybody? They're going to be like, actually, I go to breakfast with this guy, Christopher Kelso, and he's awesome, man. You should go check him out.
Yeah.
And then they can show up to the breakfast.
Hey.
It's a beautiful system.
It is genius, because what other way besides food and drink can you connect with almost 99.9% of every other person on earth? Everybody loves some food and drink.
Everybody loves food and drink.
So
that's just
that's
the reality.
a great, easy way to connect. Man, that guy's got it figured out. He's giving back to the community in creative and special ways. I hope we can get some idea. I'm ready for our bar build out. So, Alan, I know you're watching.
I was wondering.
Doing it?
Alan's been asking for that bar build out for a while now. So what I want to get down to now is what is making you an ordinary agent.
Yeah.
So if you're not out there and you're not one of these mega producers, and you're like, man, I feel like I'm doing those other things. Why am I not a mega producer yet?
And these factors, they come from this author, Cantor. He wrote a book called $1 Billion Agents. And so he interviewed several agents that had produced $1 billion worth of volume.
Yeah.
And these are the 5 things that are basically making agents ordinary rather than extraordinary.
Yeah, so number 1 on here, and this one, God, it drives me crazy because I know so many agents like this, but they fail to follow up. They generate the leads, they do everything important that they need to do, and then they don't follow up with that client.
Yeah.
Or they get told, oh, I'm not ready to buy right now, and that's the end of it. Oh, I better not bother that person. They're not ready to buy anymore, and they stop following up with them, or they just have a really terrible system, and they're still going through like their Rolodex, and they're like, oh, who should I follow up with
Trying
today?
to find their sticky notes.
Yeah, exactly, and that doesn't work. And if you're that person who is not following up, or you've got like that client that is like, ooh, I told him I'd follow up on Wednesday, but it's been a week and a half. I better not follow up anymore. No, make that communication, reach out to them, let them know, I forgot to follow up, but I'm not going to do that again.
Hey, I remember when we were with some of our coaching students for investing. I mean, they're not agents, but this, I think, applies as well. We had a meeting, and then one of them left behind a notebook.
Yes.
And we go looking at the notebook, and this person literally had all their contacts in their notebook.
It was a CRM in a notebook.
Yeah, all the property addresses they were looking at, everything. And basically, who knows how many thousands of dollars worth of contacts in that book, and they had lost it. I think we still have it to this day.
And we've offered to give it back, and no one has ever claimed it. We still don't know whose it is.
And there it is, boom, like that, because you're not being systematic, because your follow-up isn't refined and a well-oiled machine, and you're still being a dipshit, for lack of a better word. You stuck down in a notebook, you lost it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 1, they fail to follow up. Number 2, and we're getting short on time here, so I want to make sure we get through these. Number 2, they lack the negotiation skills necessary to be a mega producer. And that's true. Being nice and being a good negotiator are 2 completely different things. And you can be a great negotiator and still be really nice.
They're not mutually exclusive.
No, I hear people who collapse those together, though, and they're like, well, I can't be too tough of a negotiator because I'm a nice person. Not true at all. Number 3, they fail to put their clients' interests first. So they start thinking about in their head about, oh, that commission, or I want them to buy that house, or that one's going to be an easy deal, that one's going to be an easy closing. Not putting their clients' interests first, that will eat away at your business every single time. Number 4, they have poor listening and communication skills. This comes back down to the same thing. If you're not listening to what your clients are saying and you're not looking at a better interest of them, you're not going to be successful. And number 5, they fail to stay in regular contact with their sphere of influence and their clients, which goes back to what we were saying. No follow-up, no system in place. You got it all in a Rolodex, you got it all in a notebook, and you're not following up. Unfortunately, I got to go to a quick commercial break, guys.
Breath, we'll catch you after the break.
Will be back after the break. Stay tuned. You're under Realty Ruckus.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express, who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you chat with us live during the show, we can answer your questions live on the air. Now, we were going over the list of things that you need to make sure that you do to be a mega agent. And what I want to jump into now is, if you are an agent out there, I want to give you my tip of the day. So normally this is Alan's tip of the day. Today is going to be BB's tip of the day. And what I want to talk about is, in a hot market, what are the conversations you need to be having with your buyers, right? Because I know a lot of people who have buyers who are out there looking at properties that are out of their price range in the hottest market right now. So we got to understand, this is June. This is like the peak of the market, June and July. This is when people buy houses, because they got to be back into a home before the school year starts. Yeah, so it's the most important time of the year. Now, one of the things that the conversations you want to be having for sure with your buyers is, you have to set very clear expectations up front that you need to be aggressive and competitive with whatever offer it is. And you have to stop worrying about, because there's like something, I don't know, there's a thing on the internet or something that says like, don't pay more than 10% of list price for a property. List price means nothing, right? Yeah. List price is all created by the agent who put it on there. Some agents have it to where they go, I'm going to come in really low so I can have 1,000 offers. Some say I'm going to come in really high and see what I can push it for. And some of them actually put it right where it needs to be. But as a buyer, you need to let your buyers know that doesn't matter. They need to be offering what they feel that the property is truly worth. If they feel like it's worth more than what it's listed for, submit that offer. Make sure that you are actually putting out a realistic offer. Now, number two is, don't submit an offer without submitting something to make the seller fall in love with your buyers. Guys, as ridiculous as it sounds, when we list our investment properties, we get these videos sometimes, right? And it's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I just submitted an offer on your property, blah, blah, blah. This is my wife, Kathy. This is our two kids. And this is my dog. He loves the backyard. He's going to have so much fun. Those things make a difference. Believe it or not, they make a difference. When you're watching those, you're like, man, I kind of like these people. These people here make me feel like, yeah, they're going to be really good for the house. And when you're looking at the offer, and you've got those offers that are $500 different from each other, and everything else is exactly the same, sometimes you just pick the person that you like better, that you think is a better fit for the house. Yeah,
and for sellers, at the end of the day, what you got to remember is they are selling a home, their home as well. And so those type of sentimental things really do touch them, because they want to know that the home that they have loved and lived in for the past years is going to go to somebody that's going to give it the same care. And so that does matter to sellers. So that's a great tip. I like that one.
Yeah, and the third tip that I would give is, don't let your buyers get frustrated. Jump out ahead of the situation. Call the agent first. Find out if there's other offers working on it. And if there are, let your buyer know. Don't go into it blindly, because your buyers are going to feel like their offer is the only offer, and you might be in a pool of 20 other offers at that point. get that information up front. Go to the other agent.
It's kind of like managing their hopes and dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you know that you're competing against 30 other offers, then they know that up front. Hey, listen, guys, we are competing against 30 offers.
Yeah, especially if they're like really set on that property.
Yeah.
You got to let them know that there's
if it's their dream home, they're like, oh my God, it's my dream home. I got to have this one. Then you have to tell them, hey, but you got to understand, this is also 30 other people's dream home, and they also got to have that house. So you need to come in aggressive and strong if you want it, or we can come in at whatever you want, but you have to understand that you may not get it. And when you do that up front, it keeps your buyers from getting frustrated. Because what happens is, if you just have your buyers submitting offer, and you're not asking and you're not really getting good information, they feel like you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
And eventually they're going to go, man, my agent is a really poor negotiator. Every single deal we submit on, we don't get. And it may not even be the agent's fault.
After a while, even if it isn't the agent's fault, to them,
it's
going to seem, hey, there's something a little wrong here. What's going on?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you have to make sure that you're not allowing your buyers to be in the dark. They need to be well informed on what's going on the other side.
That goes back to those tips for being a mega producer. One of the biggest things is communication.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's true. But it's not only the communication that's obvious. Sometimes it's you having to go out there and get other relevant information that could potentially affect their transaction. And so when you're representing that buyer, you want to make sure that you're getting all the information from the other side so that your buyers are prepared and that there is no surprises.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing, is not letting some type of surprise just pop out of nowhere on your buyers that's really going to play with their emotions. It's already emotional enough. You need to kind of really manage those peaks and valleys.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my tip of the day, not Alan's tip of the day. That was my tip of the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, what I want to do is, David, can you get us a really quick recap, because we're running out of time here, but we need to know about all of the events that are coming up, everything that's going on. Because I had some people the other day tell me, I didn't know about the 100th episode celebration.
And we did have the Facebook problem.
And we had a Facebook problem. But if you're a listener of the show, I promise you will always know about the events that are going on. So David is about to inform you of all of the events.
Exactly. So tomorrow, actually, I'm super excited because we have Patent Law Firm Crawfish Boil coming up, and I haven't gotten a chance to attend this thing yet. So I've always...
Wait. You've never been to the Patent Law Firm Crawfish Party?
Oh my God.
You are in for a treat.
Yeah, I mean, if it was as good of a time as a rodeo cook-off, I'm really looking forward to it.
I would say it's better because you love crawfish.
Yeah.
And it's just like unlimited nonstop crawfish.
Yeah.
And they got the sausage and the potatoes and the corn. Woo. So if you're not closing deals at Patton,
you're missing out.
And you're missing out because that's the only way you're going to get invited.
That's right.
And if you're like, wait, why didn't I get invited? It's probably because you're not closing deals there.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, Patton always throws the best parties. I can't wait to be there. That's going to be from 5:30 to 10. And they're going to be under the big tent by their office on the top of the parking garage,
the top of the parking garage. It's pretty awesome. They put out the tent. Rain or shine, it's happening. Yeah. So even if it's raining tomorrow, don't let that...
Yeah. And last year it was canceled, and the year before I wasn't able to make it, so...
Yeah, so last year it got rained out. It's not going to be rained out this year. Ashley has more than confirmed with me, and I talked to him right before the show, and he said... 100% it's going down. So we have that coming up. What else do we have?
Awesome. And then a couple of weeks from now, we're actually going to have the White Picket and Jet Lending Happy Hour. Guys, this one we're expecting a huge crowd. Last time we had over 750 RSVPs. We're expecting over 300 plus real estate professionals at this event. That's going to be June 13th. That's a Tuesday. It's from 6 to 9 at the St. Arnold Brewery, 2000 Lyons Avenue. And you can RSVP at whitepickethappyhour.eventbrite.com. You can also find it on our White Picket Facebook page and our Houston Real Estate Events page, where you can also find all the other hot happenings going on in Houston as far as it goes for real estate.
Yeah, and it's funny because I had somebody the other day ask me, they said, I need to find more resources for my real estate business. This is somebody who's just getting started in real estate investing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, start going to happy hours and networking.
Yeah.
And they said, and he's Muslim. And he's like, well, I don't drink and I don't really smoke. Why am I going to go there? I'm like, dude, it's not about the drinking. It's not about that. It's about going out there, talking to the vendors. And we have plenty of vendors at this event who can help you grow your business. There's hard money lenders there, contractors. We have staging companies. We have investments, real estate clubs.
Plans and permits.
Plans companies, permit companies. There's everything there.
Yeah.
And in addition, When you go, White Picket Realty provides special discount listing services for investors only that you can only find about at those events. So make sure that you come out to that happy hour.
Yeah. And so that's going to be it as far as June goes. We do have some more events going on in the later part of the month, but we'll update you on those next episodes coming up, and you can always follow the Houston Real Estate Events page as well.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Full episode.
No Alan, no Ashley, no Tang. Just
no
the nerds.
Alan, no Ashley, no Tang, and we kept it non-nerdy for you.
A little bit, yeah.
But we will have a nerd edition soon. Thanks for being on a Realty Ruckus, guys. We will see you next Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Remember to keep up your ruckus. I'm Jabron Hernandez. David Bonilla, signing out.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.